At the same time, however, those of you can recall back, the mood and prospects for psychotherapists had never been better. Remember, those were the days during which, get this, insurance routinely paid 80 to 90% of therapy bills. Credentialing, those were the good old days. Credentialing requirements were loosened, and boomers determined to find career pathways outside the corporate world poured into the field. As a culture, we were still enthralled to the late afternoon sun of the self-actualizing human potential movement. So while politics and public or communal attempts to solve problems might perpetually disappoint us, always another crisis, always another war, always more poverty, more pollution. Some things haven't changed. The promise of personal salvation and transformation was still available through a therapist, now that it was perfectly acceptable for anybody to admit they were seeing a shrink. In contrast to the generation that had come of age during the Depression, the possibilities for the boomers seemed boundless. It was, in short, a not uncommon dream that with the best exercise equipment, the slickest clothes, the right company, and especially the right music, we could transform ourselves into the shiny, glamorous, sparkling avatars we saw on TV and at the movies. And at the time of that first symposium, one film, one persona represented that pop dream better than anybody else. Now, of course, therapists at that time didn't actually, at least most of the time, play the Bee Gees and encourage disco dancing in their sessions. But many therapists who had grown tired of the bland, perpetually muted, psychodynamic personage sitting in a chair who, as his or her clients nattered on, would periodically murmur, oh yeah? And how do you feel about that? They now look to a new breed of far more exciting clinical role models in the new family therapy movement. For the first time in therapy's history, therapists could watch videos of sessions or live demonstrations in which clinicians were more compelling to watch than their clients. And if John Travolta had a counterpart in therapy world, his name was Salvador Minuchin. As Janet Malcolm once put it, life is supposed to be disorderly, boring, fragmented, repetitive, in need of drastic editing. Watching a Minuchin session or a tape of it is like being at a tightly constructed, well-directed, magnificently acted play. To see what she meant, watch this brief clip of a session with a 19-year-old who has been diagnosed with schizophrenic and a family that Minuchin considers too helpful.
I want you two to discuss this issue about the helpfulness of the family, because maybe it's one of the things that you all have together.
7 people in a room. The sense of momentousness is so palpable here. Something important is going to happen.
That's exactly what happened.
And there it is.
I want to show you something. Paul, I want to show you something. That was extraordinary. You came, and your thing was like that. And did you see what your father did?
I corrected, I thought.
He took that is your thing, okay? He took that and he put it here. Why did he do that?
Maybe, I don't know, I guess he's,
Minding your business.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Hold it a minute. What was he doing?
He's trying to correct something, I guess.
Do you have 2 arms?
Yes.
Do you have two hands? Two hands?
Yes.
In the arms, this arm is finishing in an... Could you do that?
Yes.
At 19, you can do that by yourself?
Yeah.
Why does he do that? Isn't that strange? Isn't it strange that he should do that as if you don't have hands?
Yeah. Well, he does that a lot. He tries to do things for me. But
My goodness. How old do you think he thinks you are? 3? 4? 7? 12?
How many times do we hear him
12.
with these interventions?
That means a little bit younger than Paul. Can you help him? Can you help him so that he
And Paul helped his father.
grows up, so that he lets you use your two hands? Do you think you can help him to let you use your two hands?
I don't see how, though.
Well, if you don't help him to change, you will not be able to use your hands. You will always have 10 thumbs. You will always have 2 left hands. You will always be incompetent. Because he is doing things for you and paralyzing you. Talk with him about that, because I think that's very dangerous what your father did just now.
So I don't know how many of you remember watching those sessions and being mesmerized at the sense that something was going on there. This magnetic man was changing these patterns in the family. And if we didn't understand exactly what he was doing, it was totally fascinating to watch him in action.